So I just made this horror book cover in the online tool that I have at DIY book covers. And I'm going to see if I can make another one, but I'm using Google Hangouts just as another way of sharing the broadcast. It seems a little bit slow with the mouse, but we'll see how it goes. So first I'm going to get rid of some of these layers. These are just gradient layers that I put in to make the blending a little easier. I don't think I'm going to need them this time. So I'm going to go up here to add an image, and I'm going to grab one of the images I pulled a little bit ago. I'm going through and making different book covers for different genres. So right now I'm just doing a couple horror genres, and I'm going to add these to my site later so that you can use the templates and just open them up and change whatever you want and make your own book covers. So I found one pretty good picture of just kind of a road in the woods that we're going to play with, if I can find it. Wasn't that one, but that could work. This is what I'm going to use a little later. There it is. So this is a high resolution picture I got from 123rf.com. There's a lot of places to get stock photography. And so the main problem when you add it in is you're going to have this hard line across the top and bottom, and that's what I was using the gradients for. But in this case, we might not need them. Let me zoom out a little because I'm going to pull this down quite a ways. I might even make it a little taller to give it that kind of stretch, scary effect. That's too tall. So already with that gradient I added down at the bottom, you already pretty much get rid of that hard edge. But I can change it by bringing this layer up on top. So I'll go to my layers panel. My program I made, this is all online and it's going to be free for anybody to use. I built it just for book cover design, so it has some features that you won't find anywhere else. It's not quite as powerful as Photoshop, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to bring that author name up higher. That's my gradient layer, which I need because it's covering up that hard line. But I need to put it down a little bit so it doesn't go over my text. And that means I'm going to have to push this one down too. There we go. And now my gradient is a little bit too strong. It's covering up some of that picture, so I'm going to make it thinner. This Google Hangouts is really messing up my mouse. It's super slow. I'll try to get through it. That's my other one I'm going to bring down. The gradients are the easiest way I've found to blend layers together. Unfortunately, with this program, you can't just delete half the picture like you would in Photoshop. I'm going to move that text up again. And I'm going to see if I can bring out the lights a little bit. This is covering up too much of the lights. Probably move the title down into the dark area because this is pretty light up here. It's sort of coming together. It's a little better. Oops. Probably I'll add some texture later too, because for a horror cover, you're going to need a lot of gritty texture. I'm going to add one more layer in there because it's not really working. I made some gradient overlays earlier. You can make them in the tool, but it's just a little bit faster for me to just grab the gradients I need. So there's a dark bar I'm going to put down here to cover some of this up. Should work pretty well. I'm also going to add a vignette layer in. The vignette is just the darkened edges like this. And the great thing about this tool that other tools don't have, I'm just going to rotate that. I think. Maybe I can't rotate it. Well, I'll do it this way. A lot of other tools like Canva.com, they're great. They do really cool stuff, but they don't have any way to blend layers together. And that's really important for making really strong fiction covers, where you can go in here and blend the layer. So that's a pretty good start. Now I'm just going to add a little guy over here with a chainsaw to make it really horror. I'll also bring this text back up. Kind of like it a little bit dark like that. Move this one up. And this one, I've got a bunch of layers now. I'll change that later. So let's add a little guy in here. So go back to my samples, and I have a guy. It's actually a cowboy chick, but I'm not going to use her for this cover. I found a silhouette of a guy. This guy with a baseball hat. Doesn't look scary yet, but he will once I give him a chainsaw. I'll make him a little bigger. Now the thing is, I can get rid of the background just by adding multiply, but that's not going to work in every case. And usually in Photoshop, I would delete this background and then I would add a glowing layer just around the man to make him stand out a little bit more. But I can't do it in this tool because the edges of the square he's in are still here. So if I added a glow to it, it wouldn't be around the guy. But you could use another, like I could use Word or Photoshop to take out the background and then add him in here as a transparent PNG where it's just him, and that would work. This is looking pretty good though so far. Pretty amazing what you can do with a free online tool. It's new, so I'm still kind of just getting used to playing with it. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun for people to play with their own book covers. Let's see if I can flip that around. There we go. I don't really know how chainsaws work, so I'm not sure which. I think it's supposed to go this way though. Pretty sweet. I'm gonna turn that a little bit. I don't know, it should be up. What do you think? I think he's kind of more casual, so I'm gonna keep it down. You don't quite see it though. It looks like it's not gonna let me make it smaller than that. Just interesting. Good, I wonder if I'll just have it coming over the text like that. Maybe not. Might make him a little bit bigger then. So it looks sort of natural. Just using the arrow keys here to shift it around a little bit. Doesn't totally look natural, but it looks pretty good. I'm going to change the font. I think I'm going to do something with like a glow for this cover. There it is. So let's see if I just go into oops. If I go into the effects here. There's the effects. So I can just take out this bevel. Might leave that glow. Glow's pretty cool, but I actually wanted different colors. So I'm gonna go over here to glow and just do a white. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Maybe if it's really dark text, but I don't really want dark text. I can also give it some transparency to make it a little bit more scary. That looks pretty good. And I could blur it a bit. What a lot of times book covers will do, they'll double the layers here. Oops. Too bad, I'm going to bring that up, but then I'll put it back later. Where'd that text layer go? Huh. Seems to have disappeared. This tool, I think it's a little bit buggy, so if it ever freezes on you, you can just go to save project, save it, then restart this page, and then upload your project again. It'll be just like you left it. Which might be what I have to do now. I'm not sure yet. It's almost there. It's really pretty close, but I was going to change the font on that text. And to reach it, unfortunately, you need to move all the layers around. There it is. Let me just change the font, and then we'll be done. And I'm going to pick a pretty bold font. Normally, it wouldn't be scary, but I'm going to add enough effects to it to make it kind of scary. And just for fun, let's change a couple of these. Yeah, the tool is being a little bit buggy now. I'm gonna see if I can get that fixed. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I forgot, I don't think you're able to change the font on just one letter. You kind of got to change it on the whole thing. So if I wanted to do what I was trying to do, I would have to delete some of these. Sometimes it's fun just to mix the fonts up a little bit. Do too much. Actually, let's just do it this way. I'm just using Control, Copy, Paste to double layers like that. That's a pretty spooky one. I like that one. What I was trying to do is just replace these O's with something a little more tricky. Not sure how that's going to work yet. But pretty well, probably. And I'll just drop these in, see if they work at all. Now it's getting kind of hard to keep track of the layers. There's so many layers already in here. That's why you'd need to use the layers panel to go through and select the ones that you want. Whoops, I'm missing a. Oh, there it is. There's no real reason to put those O's there, but it just makes it kind of interesting. Could make them another color or make them stand out a little bit more, but I'm not going to. Actually, I could make them go low a little bit, which might be fun. The textiles here, they're not very good, but there's somewhere to start, and then you can change things around a little bit. Maybe I'll just try adding a little bit of a glow. Be kind of spooky. There we go. It's not copying the glow. Really doesn't match. I mean, this effect is more like a ghost effect, and I have that chainsaw guy there, so it doesn't really fit. It should be something like, I could make it blood splattered. I'll show you what that looks like. I mean, yeah, it could be something like that. That would stand out a little bit better. Could be the way. It's a tough decision. The red really looks nice, though. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the red. Just matches a little bit better. So I'm gonna put that top layer gradient back on. Did I move to the side? There we go. Gradient's really nice, especially for kind of scary book covers. Except this O is a little bit too hidden. I think I better move that one up. Oops, it's gone. That kind of works. It was not so easy to read up here. Probably make that a little bit bigger. The author name, I used that same font in the last one, but I kind of like that font. It's printed clearly. It's a really nice font. You want your author name, your smaller text to be really simple, serif or sans serif, and just your title to be the interesting style. There it is. I might change that to something else. You don't want to use too many. Maybe telegraphical. I think that'll work. I'm going to space it out some more. There's too much space in here, but there's a couple ways you could fix it. Just using the arrow buttons again to put this up. Should have moved the title down more, but do it this way. And then I could add like a splash of blood or something down here at the bottom if I wanted to, but I kind of like all this dark space. It looks pretty good, actually. I'm just going to leave that review how it is. I'll change the title. Or actually, I'm going to change it a little bit. I don't think I'm equipped to use a lot of italics or bold. I don't have the fonts embedded in here. But I think I can just do that for now. Kind of gives you the right feeling. Anyway, not a bad cover. Fun. I'm gonna stop there. So I'm just going to save this as a project because that way I'll be able to go in and fix it later. Or you can even go in and take the template and just play with it or change things around. So I'm going to call this Horror 2. I'm going to save the PNG because the PNG is better quality. And I can use the PNG for Kindle or anything else. Or to PNG, that's going to show up in my folder and I could just upload it to Kindle, it'd be ready to go. So I'm going to stop here.